Woo, woo, woo. All right. Look, we live all over the place, everybody. We live all over the place. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right. Now we live on Instagram and we are live on Facebook. Just going to check the connections and make sure everything is connected. As Shonda mentioned earlier, technology will do its own thing. So we have to make sure. Yes. So I'm taking these glasses off so I cannot be four-eyed. No, I'm just kidding. I love glasses. Glasses are amazing. Hey, everybody, what's going on? What's going on? It is Motivation Monday, and it is 30 interviews in 30 days. So combined, here we go. We have one of our Motivation Monday All-Stars representing for the 30 interviews in 30 days. We're doing it all at the same time. Her name is Shonda Webb. Shonda. Oh, Shonda is probably going to have an echo.
It might, because I turned my volume down, so you might have an echo from Instagram.
Let's see. I think it's good. I think we're good. What's going on, everybody? Aren't you excited? Motivation Monday is all about networking. It's all about connecting. All about teaching from an interview standpoint. We've been teaching for the last 3 years. 3 years we've been doing this, and each one of the All-Stars gets a chance to speak because it's not all about me. It's not about it. We just got to highlight everybody that's doing their thing. Shonda Webb is a real estate agent. And how did you start off? Where originally you came as a part-time real estate agent?
So I started off real estate. I worked under, I did internship for a real estate agent. A few years back, they had like a women's panel came to Bucks County Community College. It was right around when they had the first when 08, the mortgage, when the lenders crashed and everything like that. So it was like when everything was crashing in real estate, people were losing homes. It was weird because this woman was still making money. So it was just like, well, could it be that bad in real estate? Because I didn't see where her struggle really came in, and she was struggling. She never voiced it to me. So I'm just working under her. I just started to like real estate. I always like working with people and just dealing with people. So I was just like, I think I might try real estate out. So eventually I finally took my test and passed it. And then I did real estate and I worked my job. So then last year, I finally left my job and did real estate full time.
Woo, we're going to clap for you. Listen, yes. If anybody has ever done it, taking that plunge from 9 to 5 to being an entrepreneur full time, man, do you understand the emotions that come through? You first of all, you used to that steady paycheck. Oh, that's the one thing. You're used to the steady paycheck. And now it really all relies on your hustle. It all relies on what you do and producing what you need to do to keep it going. So what did you feel like when you first did it? What was that feeling like?
A lot of anxiety, because like you said, that constant knowing I'm going to get that paycheck every 2 weeks on that Friday, I knew that money was there. So, and then it also put that fire under your butt, because it was kind of like where I might get a phone call or I might decide I want to market myself in real estate. Once I went full time, it was like there was no decision. I have to do this every day. I have to get organized. I have to have a plan. I have to know what I'm doing every single day, because this is my job. I don't clock into no one else. There's no one else to talk to. There's no one cutting that check. So if I don't get that check is not coming.
Amen.
You said amen. She said, listen.
That's motivation.
That is the motivation. It is. But it's the motivation is discipline. It's having extreme discipline. Being on your own is like some discipline, because there's some days you just not feeling it. But you know that if you don't get up, if you don't move, if you don't do this, you're not going to get the money that you want.
Right.
So what are some of the steps that you took? All right. So the last year, which was 2021, go full time, but you were with a different real estate agency. Do you call it agency?
Yeah, agency.
And go ahead.
Oh no, so I was going to say I left Keller Williams and I went over to EXP Realty now. So that's where I'm at now with EXP.
So what was the difference in changing? Is it more opportunity here? Is it what's the kind of the difference in the benefits?
So Keller Williams is Keller Williams. It's a brand name. It's a home name. If you hear it, it's just like saying McDonald's. We all know. Oh, we know what Keller Williams is. But the problem with Keller Williams is it's really sink or swim. I mean, in any agency, it's sink or swim. But if you have an office of 200 people, 500 people, your coach has over 100 people they're coaching, you can call that coach. That coach may not get back to you, or if there's so many people texting him that day, your text message can go unread, or you go unanswered. So you don't know what to tell your client, because the best policy is honesty. If you ask me something and I don't know, I'm going to tell you, oh, I don't know, but I'm gonna call and find out for you, and I'm gonna call you right back. Or give me a little bit and I'll call you for the end of the day. But either way, my job is to go find that answer for you. So in Keller Williams, it was like that agent, that the coach wasn't able to do that because he had too many people. And then it was like, if you were a top producer, you're a top producer. So little producer like me in the beginning was like, it's just like pulling teeth to try to get any information, any question answered ASAP. So it was that for me, and it was the commission for me, because once COVID hit, I mean, even before COVID, we're out here getting our leads on our own. Nobody in Keller Williams is calling me like, Shonda, you're following your number. Here's 3 leads for you. Go handle your business. I have to go out and do that. So with that being said, if my commission is 70, if they say 70-30, but it's technically not, is 64, I can't do the math, 32. Am I doing that right now? 64-34, something like that. So I could have brought in a deal worth X amount of money, and you're taking half of my pay until I hit my royalty fees. If I don't hit my royalty fees, I could have had a $10,000 commission, but now I'm walking away with a $5,000 commission. But you did nothing besides allow me to hang my license at your office to say I'm under a broker. So that's what made me decide I wanted to switch companies, because I'm not producing at that number where a lot of other Keller Williams agents are producing. So when they can hit their cap within a month or two and go to 100%, I'm still getting my feet wet and getting into that water of trying to find those big deals where I can cap easy and go off to 100% and have all of my commission to myself. But it's like,
it's all based on basically making sure you get the right commission. What are some things that, I mean, I've been talking to a few real estate. So you want to buy houses, help people buy houses and sell their homes. Are you getting into any of buying properties yourself? Is that all inclusive? Is that something you do inside of what you do?
So for 2022, that is my goal. My goal is to eventually get my own property, to flip 1 or 2, and then eventually start investing in some duplex, triplex, or homes, to be a property manager and rent. That most definitely is something I'm looking into. But it's like one of those things, one step at a time type of thing, because you have to, with that, it's like if you don't have the money yourself, you go through a hard money lender. So then, you're still having to pay someone back, and just the ins and out of that process for me as a woman, because we all know going in, a lot of the world is a man's world, even though a lot of women are the ones running the show. It's a man's world. So you go into this world and, men sound good when they're talking. It's just like, oh yeah, you just sign here, you just do this and do that and pay us this, pay us that, and then you're good. And you look up and you might owe $1,000. So I know I want to do it because I know I can do it. It's just one of those things. I want to make sure I'm doing it with the right person, where I'm not going to look up and be in debt, because my goal is to have profit. My goal is to generate wealth, not to look up and be like, oh my God, what did I do? Why did I get in bed with this person? And I didn't really understand or know what I'm doing.
All right. So what are some struggles that you've gone through from the moment that, hey, now I'm independent? Is there struggles versus victories? So what are some of your struggles and what are some of your victories that you've gone through since you said, I'm going 9 to 5, real estate went first, for real?
I would say 2 of my struggles. One is just, like I said, that constant promoting myself, getting myself out there. Even just sitting here on this live, this is a big step for me. I don't do stuff like this. So, baby steps here. But my biggest struggle is probably just getting those clients, finding those clients, being confident enough just to talk to people to make them my client. And then my second struggle will probably be the fact that you do have clients that will have you drive them around forever, and you're working, and you feel to realize time is money. If I make appointments for showing houses, that's my time, because I don't get paid unless a transaction happens. So if you call me today and say, Shonda, I want to go buy houses, I have my pre-approval, this how much it is, let's do this. And then you look up and say, you know what, I don't feel like it, I'm gonna just stay with my mom. Well, I've done put 2,000 miles on my car, probably $500 worth of gas, and now you have decided not to go through your transaction. That bill falls on me, and there's nobody making that payment up but me. My other probably negative would be the fact that people will have agents. They know that I'm an agent, but they decide to go with whoever else, which is perfectly fine. That's your doing. But then things will occur, and instead of them calling to have that conversation with their agent, they're calling me for me to make them feel better. But your deal is with someone else. So those will probably be like my negatives as of right now.
But victories, all right now that's what could happen. So if anybody is out there and you want to be a real estate agent, just some of the things you have to go through. But what are some of your victories?
My victories is I've actually have had steady clients since I've left the job, and I'm making my checks and getting new clients and able to continue to produce. So it's not like they're not coming fast, but it's more like a slow and steady thing. But with the slow and steady things, the deals are actually getting bigger versus me having to have two people to make a $10,000 commission. I can actually have that one person and make that same commission.
So as everyone being on, for small business owners, entrepreneurs doing their thing, what are some benefits for us as entrepreneurs, small business owners, when it comes to real estate? What should we be doing? Is there something that we need to be working towards?
You most definitely need to always be working towards buying real estate. Like I said, even if it's just land, you plan to put nothing on that land, it's just a piece of land sitting in the middle of North Philly, look like a lot. And you might want to put a fence around it, but you have somebody come cut the grass so you don't get cited for it. But you do nothing with that land, that's perfectly fine, because as they continue to tear down and rebuild Philadelphia, when they get to your land, they have to call you, and you're going to put your best number up, and if they want it, they'll pay for it. But I would just say buy land anywhere, buy land in your favorite places that you might want to, not even land, but just buy a property anywhere in the places you might want to eventually relocate to, or vacation homes. Buy those things, because all of that now, definitely with the whole Airbnb thing and just renting out properties, is so much now you can do with properties that you own. You're really not taking a cut of money, like you're actually building your wealth.
I understand 100%. The founder of Urban Expressions, Ed Brock, he bought a property which was a piece of land back in the day, like literally back in the day, and recently was able to sell it. Something he might have paid $20,000 for. He was able to sell it for over $200,000.
They wanted it.
Like that is the realest thing ever. I was like, man, why did I think about that? No one was educating us back then. It's like if I would have known, I would have been out there like, is there land? Is there one? Who wants to go half on some land?
Yeah. Because people think, when you think real estate, you say, oh, let's invest. People automatically think they have to go into flipping and are getting houses and fix them up and have people renting them. If you want to be on the side where you don't want to deal with people at all, besides and paying for someone, maybe, like I said, to cut that grass, and in the wintertime, shovel that little piece of snow in front of that land, it's your land. That's it. You don't have to put nothing on it. It's just a patch of grass, beautiful grass that looks there. That's it.
Let's talk about credit though. So what would it take? Like, there are entrepreneurs that they got to be able to claim your income, right? You got to claim your income. You got to have. How do you get this if you what is the best way to do this if you don't have your regular 9 to 5 where you have a paycheck, and what do these banks accept as from an entrepreneur?
So they will accept like our what is like 1099s that we do throughout the year for entrepreneurs. When you do your IRS, your taxes, they will accept those things. Your credit score, credit is a funny thing because lower credit, higher interest rate, higher the credit score, depending how high we're going, the interest rate's supposed to get better. But either way, everything is really based off of your credit, and it's based off of your debt to income ratio. So you don't want to have all this debt and think somebody's going to loan you money. They're not going to do that. You need to go figure your credit out, because it's like you're not getting a home, you're not getting anything if you're not paying your bills. And it can be the smallest bill to the biggest bill, but they want to make sure that you're able to pay them back. That's the biggest thing with people trying to get properties or just loans or mortgages. We have to make sure you're able to pay the company back.
How long does it take if your credit? Do you work on credit? Is that a service you offer?
I will look at people's credit, but I don't really work on it. I typically would tell them, hey, still go to whatever lender you want to go to, let them run it. And the mortgage company would be the best to tell you, for me, what way to go on to how to get what you want if you need a pre-approval for a mortgage. Because if you're not going to get approved, you're not going to get approved. He's going to tell you why you're not going to get pre-approved. It might be, you need to get your credit card payments down. You need to find out why you have this charge off on your credit. So they typically, they know what they're looking for to get you that loan from that bank. I wouldn't know what the bank is looking for. I could just look at your credit and I'm just going to look at that. Well, what did you pay? Did you pay anything? Did you call and make a settlement? What are you doing? If you do what you have to do, depending on how much debt you have, you can have, things done in 6 months to a year. For some people, it might take longer, depending, because like I said, if we're not educated on credit and debt, we'll put everything in our name: T-Mobile, Sprint, Secular Device, like things that was from years and years ago. You look on your credit and be like, why is this even on there? Like, this company is out of business, but you wouldn't pay it no mind because you just felt like, oh, at that time I was just running my name because my name got me it.
So what's that golden number? Is there a golden number that you have to get
to? No, not really. I say anything higher than a 680, you're all still getting the same interest rate. Right now, I think one of my clients had like a 750. Interest rates are actually going up. So the best they could give her was 3.8. They were saying by the end of the year, we will be at least 4% or over 4%. So interest rates are slowly going up. So if you're coming in with the 580 or 600 or 620, they say typically all you need is a 640. Your interest rate is still not going to be the interest rate of the person that's in at that 380. So your interest rate might already come in at 4 or 4.0, a 4-point interest rate, and so you're already higher.
So why are the interest rates going up all of it?
So right now we're in a seller's market. So with being in the seller's market, I don't know if you guys paid attention to the market, everything is selling when the market is selling fast, and everything is selling at a higher price than what it typically is. So, you can go even to some of the best areas and probably buy a home right now because it's selling at a higher price, but the interest at the time was really, really low. So when you did the math on that property, you could afford it. But now with interest rates going up, that's going to slowly change. Now we're going to go back into that seller market. You're going to see prices of home, property, land, and everything else drop because technically you're not going to be able to afford that property that may be $350,000 at a 4% interest rate. That extra $2,000 or $3,000 will make a difference in your life. And then we still going back to just your living. So you have to eat, you have to drink, might have to take care of the kids, you have all the bills, all your just own personal necessities. It doesn't make sense. Right now in the market, it was just hot.
Before it was hot during it seemed like during the quarantine and COVID, it seemed like everybody was buying and selling. It was like, hey, I'm buying this or I'm selling this. It was like houses galore. Everybody was buying it.
Everybody, I think with COVID, because most people lived in apartments or whatever, wherever they lived, or they were living with someone. And then I think they realized the importance of having a home. Because when you get locked down, of course, you want to be locked down in your home. You want to be locked down in a comfortable situation. So if you're living with someone or you have an apartment or you're, pillow to post, you realize like, I really don't have any stability. So people were buying homes sight unseen. They were buying homes from somebody recording a video, putting it up there and say, oh, this is what the home looks like. What? That's like looking at a chick on Instagram. By the time you put a filter or two on it, that home looks like the most prettiest thing in the world before you walk into it. Absolutely not. So during COVID, I did not. If I couldn't show the home, I refused to do it because I just felt like I didn't want my client to get into something that they couldn't get out of.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. So what are some hot areas right now that you're able to sell? So you're licensed in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania?
So I'm licensed in Pennsylvania. I can sell anywhere in Pennsylvania. Technically, I wouldn't, because that's like if somebody called me from Renton, I wouldn't go up to Renton and do a property just because I don't know the area. I've probably traveled there maybe 4 or 5 times in my life, not somewhere I frequent myself. So I would refer that client out to someone and make sure that, they're in good hands, and that agent in Reading that lives there would be able to take care of them. This year, what I am working on, though, is getting licensed in a few other states. So I'm looking into Delaware, Maryland, Atlanta, New York, Jersey, and Florida. So those are the 6 I'm looking to get licensed in by the end of the year.
That's nice. Oh, that's a big expansion. What would that take to get licensed in all those areas? That you have to take another test in each area?
So actually, no, I do not. God, it's just some paperwork. It's just some really simple paperwork, and I think only people that actually have you sit and take like 40 questions, and I think they're like ethic questions, are Florida and Jersey. Everybody else is literally just filling some forms out, mailing them in, and then they'll mail me back saying, "Okay, sure, you can go sell in Delaware. Have at it.
Have at it. Why not? Why not do it if that's going to expand your whole thing, especially going out there to Atlanta, hot Atlanta. Atlanta's, I know they don't call it hot Atlanta anymore, but it's still a hot market, right?
Yes, most definitely. They got their own show now, Atlanta Real Estate Agents. So yeah, they're making money in Atlanta. They're still moving the houses.
Yeah. Do you find that this may become oversaturated real estate? I know a lot of people who are in real estate. You have a lot of people that are becoming agents. Do you feel that it will be too much competition? Do you think it will be oversaturated, or it's not a worry for you at all?
It's not a worry because I think with any business, it's either you're going to sink or swim. So a lot of people jump into real estate and they think, I don't know what they really think. I don't know if they think that, like I said, these deals are just going to be handed to you by your company. If you don't really get out here and talk to people and do the mailers and do the work and do the legwork, and you'll get 100 no's, but you just need 5 yeses to really make your life similarly okay. If you don't continue to work at that, then they're either going to, let it go, because outside of just trying to do all of this, you have a ton of fees that you're paying. So you spend at least $3,000 a year just in real estate fees, regardless if you make money or not. These are things that have to be paid for. So exactly. See why I was working still. On top of my own household bill. So it's like definitely if you're going to do a full time, it's like you have to give it your all. You have to hit the pavement. You have to talk to people. You have to do Shelly's Instagram live and talk to people.
You do have to. Not even that. It's just one of those things. I know what it's like to not. I may show up. I may show up at different events. I may put a microphone in my hand, but sometimes I'm showing up so nervous, like you have no idea. You have no idea to get a party hype Like what if nobody's feeling me? You know what I mean? So I understand what it's like to, especially in your first time to show up on something. But I'm glad you're doing it. I'm glad you're a part of Motivation Monday All Stars.
Yes.
This is what we do. We got a good opportunity to grow.
Yes.
You were looking for a coach earlier. Did you find the coach that you were looking for to help you take your career to the next or the next level?
I haven't found a coach per se, but I can say the young lady that is at EXP that I actually work with, she has become very, very helpful. Just with anything that I need. My new broker, he is awesome. He's helpful, very hands-on. So it's a lot of things that we have within EXP that we can make sure we put out there and get our stuff out there. It's just me implementing it. It's now me putting my best foot forward, doing what I have to do. Because I know I'm one of those people, I get relaxed very easily. So I always like, stay organized for 2022. Baby steps for me.
I feel the same way. Sometimes I get a little lax, but we're not. 2022, somebody going to keep us focused. Somebody going to keep us going. We're going to keep going. I don't know if you saw my live on, I think it was Sunday. My brother is he is the real estate godfather of Harlem. He's the multi-billionaire, made his way in real estate. Definitely has a book out called the Real Estate Godfather of Harlem. When I say he came from the streets of Philadelphia, just like we did, we're from Philadelphia, and he's got blocks. He owns blocks of Harlem, blocks of Philadelphia, blocks, and he's got
trying to be like him.
Exactly. So I mean, definitely connect to. You should have been on that live. You should have been watching this. But definitely get his book. I don't know if he does coaching, but I think he is opening it up to coaching, because if anybody has never lacked, he ain't never lacked. in the years that he just never lacked. So I feel like sometimes when you connect with people who have that super duper drive, that super duper, I'm not gonna stop, we won't get lax. You can't get lax. I think it happens to us. I don't know why, but it happens. How do we get past that? Maybe somebody can help us get past the whole lax thing. maybe we need a coach, a life coach over there. There goes the life coach over there. She's gonna help us not to get lax.
Listen, I'm sitting here now. I really am in tune, but I'm sitting here putting together a workbook for my first master class, for personal development. So yes, let's get it, y'all.
She said she's gonna make sure we don't get lax. I'm telling you. No, she do keep up on it though. She do keep up on it. I ain't gonna lie. What are y'all doing? Did I miss one? I was like, oh no, we won't really. But what are some things that we can do to not get in lax? What do you think we could do?
Well, this right here, this accountability, this group right here, we accountability with one another.
So accountability, we got that. You need that, Shonda. We all got that accountability.
Yes.
Don't let me fall off on there. I won't. We doing accountability. What else? What else can we do to not lax so we can grow? Any suggestions? No. Accountability is the biggest thing.
For me, organization, I started to literally plan my week out. So before you ask me to, like, you can call me and be like, oh, Shonda, you free on Saturday or whatever day you need me. I'm going to go to my planner and say, let me see. Because if something is in there, depending on the time lapse or whatever, I may or may not show up. I may or may not say I'm going to probably, it's not going to happen, because I realize people will call you for your time. And then you look up at your day and it's like, not so much you wasted it, but then you realize you could have done so many other things. So with my handy dandy organizer now, I look in that calendar and it's just like, nope, I've decided last week, I realized I was doing a lot of running around all week long. I said, no, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll run around. Tuesday, Thursday is office work. So that means I'm not leaving my house. I started going to the gym at 5 a.m. I'm coming back home. calling doctor's appointments for the kids, paying bills, updating my business sites, finding out mailers or flyers, studying whatever I need to study to make me do better in what I need to do better in. That's what I'll be doing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm not coming outside unless it's a 911. My business hours end at maybe between 3 and 5, depending what type of day I'm having. But I have to not let things and people and clients run me. Because I had a client that would literally call me every day and would have me show her one house a day. And they called me by the end of that night and said, oh, well, can we go see this house tomorrow? And in my mind, I'd be like, but you didn't see this house earlier to ask earlier if you wanted to see this house. Like, I'm driving from Bucks County to Albany. It's a constant back and forth. So I said, okay, no, enough of that. Saturday and Sunday, I'm doing absolutely nothing because I don't have to. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you have me. Tuesday, Thursday, I'm in the house. You can call me. You can ask me what you want. You need help with something. You need, advice about some real estate or whatever it is. Call me. Sure, why not? We can have that conversation. But unless it's a dire need, I am not leaving my home on Tuesday and Thursday. No longer.
Believe me, I understand. That your time becomes the most valuable asset you have when you become a full-time. Yeah, it's like, oh no, this time is precious. Me precious. No, your time becomes so precious in that moment. So when and how can people connect to you as a real estate agent, whether they want to sell their home or help you find them home? How do they connect?
Well, you can always find me on Instagram at Real Estate First. You can Google me. My number is there. I have a Google page. I'm on Facebook, Shonda Webb Realty. It's pretty simple. You can find me just about anywhere.
All right. Did you tell me what the hot places are right now? I mean, I know you said you do primarily, but are there hot areas that we should be looking at? Because I think collectively, maybe one day, I know the goal was to kind of like get something together. So what are some hot areas that we should be looking at? Like, though, this area is hot.
I would say anywhere where college or universities are. And I say this for many reasons. If we're going to keep the house and rent it out, you rent it to the college students, you get a agreement with the college, you can get your money up front for the next 2 years. Their parents are not honest and they're paying their rent if they don't have the money. If they do have the money, you might can do a month to month or whatever, a year to year lease, but that money is coming up front versus, just the regular Joe Schmo coming off the street and, we don't know if his employment history is accurate, but he wants to rent our property. So I've been actually looking a lot in any places where universities are because I don't mind renting to the university kids. Granted, don't tear my house up. I don't mind a few, noise complaints because you had a party or two. I can deal with that. You're young. I can expect it. Just don't have me walk in and see holes in my wall. That's all I ask. Anywhere else, if you wanted to do it, just about anywhere in Philadelphia, they're rebuilding, tearing down, regentrifying. So if you buy that property right now, it may be worth only about $50,000 or $80,000 to buy it, but you hold on to it's going to go up to that $250,000, $300,000 property because everything is just being rebuilt around us. From my understanding, someone told me they are building another prison between Lehigh and Allegheny. It's like 17th and Allegheny or 17th and Lehigh. Somewhere somebody was telling me, I'm like, why are we building another prison in the middle of the city? Do we not have enough?
I think it's one already back there towards like 17th, right off of 17th and Allegheny. Yeah.
Yep. So they're either adding on or is it already done? Somebody was saying they were building it. And I was just like, that's when you know that, they're just doing what they want with the money. Like, why do we need another prison? We have State Road, you have all of Holmesburg Avenue has a prison right there. You don't need another one. So it's just, they're getting these large fundings and they're doing what they're making our area be what they want it to be.
It's so sad because we can choose to invest this money, all this money that's out here into our pupils, but yet we're building more prisoners for these. It's just ridiculous. It bothers me so bad. That's crazy.
It most certainly does. But, I guess we got to control the narrative at some point, and I guess that's where owning this stuff comes in. So
Yep.
With that said, being buying stuff in the college university area, did you see anything that we should be getting on? Like, have you seen anything like this? Like, if you're in the market for buying something right now and you're prepared to buy something, have you seen anything in your travels that we need to get?
Not per se in my travels. I honestly have not really been looking because it's like one of those things like I go in and out. That's why I said I get lazy. My lax comes in it because 1 week I might be chugging along and then 2 weeks I'm on relax mode. So that's where it's like I have to stay the core because I know what I want to do. So like I said, I gotta stay the core and just keep up on that stuff more than often. But honestly, right now, a lot of homes that I'm seeing are literally like abandoned. Like we're talking like you might have no back and you just look through the front door and you can see right out to the backyard. So it's like you have a lot of those and it's like that costs money to fix up. So the ones that you try to get are the ones that look half decent and you're not doing too much in. But those are hit and miss. Those are like, you got to find an 85-year-old lady that's just like, it's okay. I don't mind selling. Listen, sell me your home. You continue to live in it and rent it and you'll rent it from me. And then when you go, hopefully she'll go soon, I'll come in and redo your home. But that's a lot of what wholesalers do. I don't think that's why I never got to wholesaling because I don't really want to have those conversations with people.
I have a question. I got a bunch of questions for you.
Okay.
Are you just on the sales end or you actually get down on from the flip all the way from the beginning?
So I have not yet done my own flip, but I have sold property where people have done flips that will have purchased the property so they could do a flip.
Okay. So
I'm on the buyer and seller side. I can work with either person, but I personally have, like we were talking about for us to do it ourselves, I have personally not bought my own flip yet. I look at different places that I see, but it goes back to making sure either you have the money or whoever's going to give you the money, you trust in them to do right by you just as much as you happen to do right by them.
I've actually done 2 flips.
Okay.
So are you involved with a contractor or is how does...
No, I'm not involved with any contractors. Like I have people, if a client asks us like, oh, Shonda, something's going on, can you give me a contractor? Like we have people within the office that people have used that they trust and they'll say, oh, you can send, Joe Schmo, Kenny Bob out and they'll help, who. But I personally don't have any contractors now.
Okay. Next question. Have you worked with any sheriff sales?
No, real estate agents really don't do sheriff sales unless they're doing it for themselves because we don't make any profit off of it.
Okay.
All right. I think that you got more questions.
Nah. I was just curious. I'm really listening to what she's saying. She's making a lot of sense. A lot of sense in a lot of different ways. We do have to control the narrative a whole lot more, like y'all were saying earlier. But that prison at 17th and Allegheny, you have to understand the whole mindset behind. It's not about building to expand on the penitentiary, the penal system. That's not what that's about. These 80% of these new prisons are for profit. That's what that's all about. It's all about profit. Everybody that goes in there, it's for profit. It's never to get crime off the street or anything of that nature. It's for profit. They put it right there where the demand is or where the supply is. I mean, the demand is
Absolutely. Well, we ain't gonna get into the prison system. We're gonna get into how do we get these properties eventually. I think Ron, you had a question.
So, not saying that this is my issue, but what if you had a bankruptcy? Can you still ever rent property again? I know Donald Trump has figured out how to do it, but can I? like, is there a certain amount of time frame, or do you do it through a business entity, or what do you do?
If you to rent property or to own property?
To buy property, yeah.
I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, you probably can Google it, but I want to say it's maybe 3 years. You have to be bankrupt for at least 2 to 3 years before you can go out and pretty much just like clear to restart your credit all over again. Because then by then you're rebuilding yourself. But I want to say, because I do know a family member had went through that, and I want to say they told her she had to wait like 2 or 3 years before she could do anything to actually restart building her credit, for people to really start taking her seriously again. But if you're getting the property for business use, get an EIN for your LLC and do it under the business, because then if something goes wrong, if they sue you, they're not suing your personal assets, they're suing your business assets. And if the business ain't got nothing, you ain't got nothing.
All right, so what do you need to have for, that's a good thing. So what do you need to have for your business? So, okay, hey, my business wants to buy property, right? So does the business have to have business credit? Is there, what do we need to do to go get the business credit?
So you most definitely have to have business credit. I see so many different credit people that do so many different things, and it's so much to take in. I personally am just starting to work on my business credit, so I don't know exactly all the ins and outs of it, but I know, you do your LLC, you get your EIN number. I got my iPostal for my business address, so it's not at my physical home. And then they say, you do your net 30, net 60, or net 90. So it's pretty much you purchase things from these companies and you have 30 days to pay it off in full. And that goes towards your business credit. Now, granted, if you have great personal credit, you can apply for your business, some business credits, and they'll pull from your personal. But if you don't want your personal to have anything to do with it at all, it's easier just to find a way to just go ahead and build that credit, because you don't want someone to keep pulling from your personal credit if they're not going to approve you for it anyway. But I think for me right now, for myself, getting business credit is the hardest thing for me to do right now, because a lot of the companies like the net 30s and 60s that they have, it's like office supplies. It's like things you have to buy, and it's like, I don't want a toilet paper and paper towel. Like, what am I sit there like, what am I actually purchasing that I really need from this site? Because I don't feel like it's nothing.
But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I have a list right here in front of me if anyone needs it. It's difficult because for someone, like when I initially first started my business, my credit was bad. And if you don't have good personal credit, yes, initially when you go to apply for a business credit, they pull your personal. And of course, if it's bad, you're not going to want to, give you anything. So the best route I had to take at one time was the net 30s and the 40s. So, and it's still building, and you have to, get your Dun and Bradshaw number. It's a process, and it seemed like it takes forever, but I've seen it work for people. So.
And you said you have a list? You have a process?
Yeah, I got a list here. I have a list. If anybody want it, it's here in my bag.
I
want it. I definitely want to look. We all
like right in front of me. Yeah, and you're right. It's like the staples. It's almost like different companies with staples, and but it's worth it. It's worth it.
I have
because
another
all you can do just
make sure you pay it. It's the biggest thing.
I have another question. What's the lowest credit score that you would be willing to work with?
I mean, I've had lenders said they've gotten people in homes with the 580. I don't know exactly what may have been on the person's credit or whatever, but they were able to do it. It's just, as you know, with the lower rate, with the lower credit score, you get a higher interest rate because you're more of a liability for the lender.
So if somebody is looking to do you think it makes more sense to fix your credit first, or just go ahead and get it and then fix it as you go along?
Mm-mm.
I'm sorry, say that again.
All right, say like you're able to get, let's say your credit is in this mid 650 or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're able to get the loan. So do you think it's smarter to build it first to 7 if you can? Because what if you can't, but you're able to get the loan, but then you miss out on the opportunity, not thinking that you can,
So if you get a loan, if they approve you for the loan, I mean you have your loan. I mean if you're at a 640 and they approve you for it, and they look at your your income and your debt, and they feel like you can afford this $150,000 home and make your payments, then take the loan, because it doesn't matter how high. After after that 640 to 680 range, it really doesn't matter how high your credit score gets. There is still somewhat of a cap there. It's still like, you're not really getting anything that's so much greater than the next person at this point.
Okay.
Oh, look like we're trying to get properties around here. Listen, I think you sparking some things and some people. I think everybody about to go ahead and figure out what property we get in this year, because it's time. It's time. I'm definitely going to start building some credit, get that credit together.
I ask you a question, is Shonda?
Yes.
So I've been looking for property. I've been out with this one particular realtor, and I think he's been kind of fair and honest. But he said that there's really nothing out here for buyers right now. And he said he found himself like really scrounging to find properties. And he's with Keller Williams as well. But he said that he's been really scrounging like to find properties for people that wanted to stay within like $100,000 to $150,000, right? He's like, it's just like prices are so high.
Right now, like I said, it's a seller's market. So right now, once COVID hit and they realized everybody wanted to buy a property and the interest rate was so low, you go, let's say prime example, my sister lives in Southwest. She has a house sitting on her block that's worth they have it on the market right now for $100,000 and almost $80,000. The property has been sitting there for 171 days. My sister bought her house at probably about 150,000. Nobody wants to live in Southwest. So that property is going to sit, because she was like, I want to move. I said, you can move, but you're going to take a cut, because nobody wants to live in your area until they start to regentrify your area and come in and start building things to make it, one, safe to be there, two, something to actually look at. Nobody's buying. So when you have the areas that people do want to live in, the issues coming in that house may be only worth 220. They're asking for 260, but where they're getting people at, and where I think agents aren't explaining to their clients, is that house, that person could have been living in that house since 1997. You're buying a new roof, you're buying new electric systems, you're doing new flooring. I've been in houses that had panel walls, and I'm like, what is going on in here? They did absolutely nothing, but they're asking for these ridiculous prices, not realizing people are paying it, and I don't think they're realizing you're about to come out your pocket now for another 50,000 to 100K just to bring your house up to something you might even want to. And if it's your own personal home, who wants to live in the place that you like? Why do I have brown panel walls still? Now, if you're going to flip it, you might can take that gamble. But if you're not flipping it, it's not worth it.
You might spend another 50, 60 grand just to bring it up the code, because you got to bring up the code for you to get insurance.
Exactly.
So,
but no, though, don't they have? It has to be they have to have it up the code before they can sell it.
Not. It depends. It depends.
Not necessarily. So if you have a conventional loan, they do not. Conventional loan is that person, they have good credit. The bank knows you're going to pay me regardless, and you can walk in there and say, I don't need an inspection. Most people are going to get it because they want to know what's going on in the property. The appraiser is going to come out and say, okay, this is what it's worth, but they're not going to say the seller has to do anything because you have a conventional loan. They're not worried about it. So it was really hard. It's harder for the people that are the first time home buyers, or people that are living on that income. It's harder for them right now because they're going to these homes and no work is done. And the seller is like, nope, as is.
As is.
I have agents telling me all the time, well, did you not read? It says as is. Well, I can read, but it doesn't hurt to ask. The only thing you can tell me is no. There's a lot of people that used to put as is, but if you ask the seller for something, and if they're really desperate on selling this property, they will make those little minor adjustments so they can get you into it. So, but right now, a lot of them are just going for as is, and the prices are not worth it whatsoever.
So does that make it hard for you as a real estate agent trying to make your money? Is this hindering you?
Yes and no. Like for me, this is a good time to work with investors because you come in already having your money. You come in knowing that this house is this way. You're going to put in X amount of money, and you know the aftermarket value is going to be this. You already know what it is to make that decision of how much money you're going to put into that. It's harder for, like I said, my clients that are the first time home buyers, or, you know, the property owners that live on an income that, you know, this is what I can afford. I really can't fluctuate that.
Got it. Well, thank you so much, Shonda.
I'm sorry.
Huh? What?
I got one more question.
Okay.
If you're married, do they have to run both?
No. So if you're married and your wife's credit is better than your credit, as long as she has the income, the stable income as well to go along with that credit, everything can go on her name and you can just be added to the deed. So you still have ownership of the property if she ever chooses to sell it, but you just are not responsible for the mortgage. That would just fall upon the one person.
Any more questions?
Nope.
Oh, all right. Anybody else have any more questions? Because we're going to let Shonda go ahead on and enjoy the rest of this night. Because she's like, wait a minute. I don't have no more answers. No, I'm just playing. She's like,
if I don't know, I tell you, I don't know.
But make sure you go find Shonda Webb, Real Estate First on Instagram, Shonda Webb Realty on Facebook. And what she says she's Googleable. You can Google her, Shonda Webb.
Realtor, it comes up, yes.
Shonda Webb Realtor. And if you are looking for a property, looking to sell a property, she is your real estate agent that is here and available to help you. And she has all those great answers. Listen, she did her thing. She knows what she's talking about. So thank y'all so much for joining us right here on Instagram. I'm going to say goodbye to Instagram and to Facebook over here. But thank you so much for joining us. This is 30 interviews in 30 days. We did it for Motivation Monday, which is every third Monday of the month. We'll be back. We will be back in effect next month. Every third Monday of the month, we are back. Hopefully, we'll go live again. But for right now, we are still on Zoom until we're able to go live again. Or maybe we'll just have a small gathering. But right now, it's still going to be every third Monday of the month. I believe Coach Dar is going to be the next speaker, life coach, and she's got master classes. She has women's
empowerment. I had Black Women About Business.
Yeah. Women's empowerment, Black Women About Business. So that's the third Monday of the month, which is in March. So join us. Women's History Month is next month. So we celebrate women next month. So Dar's going to do her thing. Woo, 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 woo. Thank you to all the Motivation Monday All-Stars. Thank y'all so much. We will see you once again next week. But tomorrow, 30 interviews, 30 days, I will be back with Suzanne Christine from Philly. She is an amazing singer. She is really one of my favorites, not just because she's my friend and not just because I'm interviewing her tomorrow, but she really is. She's on my playlist. I'll be like, Google, don't say it now because Google will start talking to me. I'll be like, Google, play Falling Tears by Suzanne Christine. Play Save Me by, I'm telling you, she is tomorrow. And she's also got her big break. She will be on the Roots tour, the Roots Picnic. She's one of the billing ones on the Roots Picnic. So that is major for an artist, especially coming out of our great city of Philadelphia. So tomorrow, 30 interviews in 30 days is Suzanne Christine. And then we had Sunday the 215. So 30 more, how many more days? What's the day? Today is the 21st. I can't count. 9 more days. Woo! There's my math. 9 more days, y'all. I'm my man for
wait a
not
minute.
being there.
Ho, I'm confused.
Huh?
How you doing 30 interviews in 30 days and it's only 28 days? Never mind.
It's 28 days in February, but we're going past. It's Black History is back. Black to the future. Black History is every single day, and we're going to keep going. So I'm not even going to end. It's supposed to end on the 2nd, but it's so much Black excellence that I might have to go over because there's so many people that I need to connect with. But if I have the energy, I'm gonna keep going. So I'll see y'all tomorrow on IG. See y'all tomorrow. Woo-hoo. Thank you for rocking with me though.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much. I think I'm gonna just stop the live. So everybody out there in Facebook land, I appreciate you. YouTube land, thank you so much. I'm just gonna stop the live over here.